Welcome to our channel. Today we're going to find out just how smart you really are with a simple test that many adults won't pass. You know, the universe is full of mysteries from black holes to dark matter, but sometimes the biggest mysteries are right here on Earth. Like, why do so many people struggle with seemingly simple questions? We're diving deep into the human brain, exploring the fascinating world of cognitive biases and logical fallacies. Get ready to challenge yourself because we're about to put your brain power to the test. Let's get started. Okay, first question. A bat and a ball cost $1.10 in total. The bat costs $1 more than the ball. How much does the ball cost? Pause for 5 seconds. It sounds simple, right? But this is a classic example of how our brains can be tricked. Did you say 10 cents? If so, you've fallen for a common cognitive bias. The correct answer is actually 5 cents. Think about it. If the ball costs 5 cents and the bat is $1 more, that's $1.05, bringing the total to $1.10. See, our brains often jump to conclusions without really thinking things through. Ready for another one? Here we go. Imagine a lake with a single lily pad. This lily pad doubles in size every day. If it takes 48 days for the lily pad to cover the entire lake, how many days does it take to cover half the lake? Pause for 5 seconds. Did you say 24? That's a natural instinct, but it's not quite right. The answer is 47. Since the lily pad doubles in size each day, it works in reverse too. If it's covering the whole lake on day 48, it means it was half the size and therefore covering half the lake on day 47. This illustrates the power of exponential growth, something we see everywhere in the universe, from the expansion of the cosmos to the spread of information online. Let's try a different kind of challenge. This one is a classic puzzle that has stumped many people over the years. 3 friends check into a hotel room. They are excited about their trip and ready to relax. The clerk tells them the room is $30, so each man pays $10. They hand over the money without a second thought. Later, the clerk realizes the room should only have cost $25. He feels a bit embarrassed about the mistake. He gives the bellhop $5 to return to the guests. The bellhop nods and takes the money. On the way to the room, the bellhop realizes that he cannot divide the money equally among the 3 friends. He ponders what to do. He pockets $2 and gives each guest $1 back. The friends are happy to get some money back, even if it's just $1 each. Now each guest has paid $9, their original $10 minus the $1 back, for a total of $27. They start to discuss their expenses. The bellhop has $2. He feels a bit guilty but keeps the money anyway. If you add those up, that's $29. The friends are puzzled and start to wonder about the missing dollar. Where is the missing dollar? Pause for 5 seconds. This question has left many scratching their heads. This one is a bit of a brain teaser, designed to trip you up with the way the information is presented. It's a classic example of a logical fallacy. The trick is that you're adding amounts that shouldn't be added together. It's a simple yet effective way to confuse the mind. The guests paid $27 in total, but $25 went to the hotel and $2 went to the bellhop. There's no missing dollar. The puzzle is solved, and the friends can finally relax. Chapter 4. Question 4. The wording matters. Time for a word puzzle. What is unusual about the following words? Revive, banana, grammar, voodoo, assess, potato dresser. Pause for 5 seconds. Take a close look at each word. Notice anything? The answer is that they are all palindromes. That means they read the same backward as they do forward. Our brains are wired for patterns and symmetry, which is why palindromes are so fascinating. They're like little linguistic puzzles that make us think about language in a whole new way. Chapter 5. Question 5. Burning ropes. Imagine you have 2 ropes. Each rope takes exactly 1 hour to burn completely, but they don't burn at a consistent rate. You want to measure 45 minutes. How can you do it using only the ropes and a lighter? Pause for 5 seconds. This one requires a bit of creative thinking. Here's how to do it. Light both ends of rope number 1 and one end of rope number 2 simultaneously. When rope number 1 burns out completely, exactly 30 minutes will have passed, since it was burning from both ends. Immediately light the other end of rope number 2. Because it's already half burned, it will now burn out in 15 minutes. 30 minutes plus 15 minutes equals 45 minutes. Chapter 6. Question 6. The Monty Hall problem. Let's play a game. Imagine you're on a game show and you're faced with a tantalizing choice. You're on a game show, and you're given the choice of 3 doors, each one hiding a different surprise. Behind one door is a shiny new car, behind the others, goats. The stakes are high and the tension is palpable. You pick a door, say number 1, and the host, who knows what's behind the doors, opens another door, say number 3, which has a goat. The host's reveal adds to the suspense. He then says to you, do you want to switch to door number 2? This is the critical moment of decision. Is it to your advantage to switch your choice? Pause for 5 seconds. The clock is ticking and the pressure is on. This is a classic probability puzzle that often trips people up. Many contestants find themselves second-guessing their initial choice. The answer is yes, you should absolutely switch. It might seem counterintuitive, but switching doors increases your chances of winning. Here's why. Initially, you had a 1/3 chance of picking the door with the car. The odds were not in your favor from the start. That means there was a 2/3 chance the car was behind one of the other 2 doors. The host's knowledge changes the game. When the host reveals a goat behind one of those doors, he's essentially concentrating that entire 2/3 probability onto the remaining closed door. This is the key to understanding the puzzle. Switching gives you a 2/3 chance of winning, as opposed to sticking with your original choice, which remains a 1/3 chance. So always remember, in the Monty Hall problem, switching is the winning strategy. Chapter 7. The Curious Case of the Blue-Eyed Islanders. This one's a bit more involved, but stick with me. It's a fascinating tale of logic and deduction. There's an island inhabited by 100 perfectly logical people. These islanders are known for their sharp minds and rational thinking. They have blue or brown eyes, but they've lived in isolation for so long they don't know their own eye color. Imagine living your whole life without ever knowing such a fundamental aspect of yourself. There's one rule. They cannot talk about eye color. This rule is strictly enforced, and breaking it is unthinkable. However, if someone deduces their own eye color, they must leave the island at dawn. This rule adds a layer of complexity to their lives. One day a visitor arrives and announces, "I see someone with blue eyes, what happens next?" Pause for 5 seconds. This simple statement sets off a chain reaction of logical deductions. This puzzle is a mind-bender, but here's the breakdown. The visitor's announcement introduces the concept of blue eyes to the islanders' logic. The visitor's statement is a catalyst. Since everyone is perfectly logical, they can now use this new information to deduce their own eye color. If there were only one blue-eyed person, they would immediately know it was them and leave. But the situation becomes more intriguing with more blue-eyed individuals. If there were 2, each would see the other and, knowing there's at least one blue-eyed person, deduce their own eye color and leave. This process of deduction is fascinating to observe. This logic continues until, on the 100th day after the visitor's announcement, all 100 blue-eyed islanders will leave the island simultaneously. It's a remarkable demonstration of collective logic and reasoning. The island, once bustling with life, will be left with only the brown-eyed individuals, pondering the power of logic and the impact of a single statement. Chapter 8, Question 8. The false statement. Here's a quick one. Which statement is false? 1. There are 7 days in a week. 2. February has 28 days. 3. The Earth is flat. 4. Water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. Pause for 5 seconds. I hope this one wasn't too much of a challenge. The false statement is, of course, number 3, the Earth is flat. We've known for centuries that the Earth is a sphere, or more accurately, an oblate spheroid, slightly squashed at the poles and bulging at the equator due to the centrifugal force of its rotation. Chapter 9, Question 9, the dice puzzle. You have 2 ordinary 6-sided dice. You roll both of them. What is the probability that the sum of the 2 dice will be greater than 9? Pause for 5 seconds. To figure this out, consider all the possible combinations. There are 36 possible outcomes when you roll 2 dice. The combinations that result in a sum greater than 9 are 4, 6, 5, 5, 5, 6, 6, 4, 6, 5, and 6, 6. That's 6 favorable outcomes, so the probability is 6 out of 36, which simplifies to 1/6. Chapter 10, Question 10, the final test. Here's the final question, and it's a tough one. A farmer has 17 sheep and all but 9 die. How many are left? Pause for 5 seconds. This is another example of how wording can trip us up. The answer is 9. The phrase all but 9 means that 9 sheep survived. It's easy to get caught up in the math and miss the subtle but crucial wording. So, how did you do? Let us know in the comments below. Did any of these questions stump you? Remember, intelligence isn't just about knowing the right answers. It's also about critical thinking, problem solving, and being open to new ways of looking at things. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more fun and challenging videos. See you next time.